In this video, I'm going to cover how to make sales for your online coaching program without being salesy or coming across desperate. Because if you do come across this way, you're not only going to lose the sale, but it can really ruin your brand reputation, making it harder for you to make sales in the future. You don't want your brand to be known for being pushy or aggressive, right? I mean, if you're doing online coaching, your offer is all around helping people. So the last thing you want to do is push them away because your sales process sucks. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in, and I'm going to share my screen and let's get started. All right, so we are in my document here. There are 12 steps that you want to take for every sales call, right? There are 12 steps to make a sale online. And if you follow each of these steps, you're gonna have more closes. You'll have less of the objections, like, that you're getting of like, I gotta think about it. I gotta run it by my wife. I'm not sure if now is the time. I might try this on my own. If you follow all 12 steps that we're gonna go through in order, you should have like at least 50% less of those. And if you do get those, you'll know really the real reason why. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. Step number 1 is the introduction. Now for the introduction, I actually just do a standard question. So like right as someone joins, first thing, hey, can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Awesome, man. How's your day going? Right? That's the second question I'll ask. And they'll tell me how their day is going. And then right as they finish up telling me how their day is, I'm gonna then jump straight into the agenda, okay? So when I say that, like, ideally, they finish exactly what they're saying. Oh man, my day's going pretty good. I just finished up a call at work. Awesome. Like you just want to hop in and jump in. Awesome. Well, look, let me tell you how these calls go. Instead of like waiting for them to tell you, I'll ask you a question, right? Because like a lot of this is about frame of like keeping frame of like I'm the question asker and I'm just going to be doing a lot of discovery, asking you questions. So I personally like to jump straight into the agenda without that person saying, awesome, well, how's your day going? Now, if I mess up and like I don't get there fast enough, or if I feel like I'm rude, like jumping in and they finish it really fast, I'll be short and be like, yeah, man, my day's going really well. Now, let's go ahead and jump straight in, right? I want to get to the meat and potatoes, and I want to position myself as the authority, not as a back and forth like comrade friend, right? Because I'm not necessarily their friend. As a coach, as a mentor, as somebody who's going to support them, I'm the expert and I'm there to help that person and make sure they get the support they need. And I don't want to waste any time with that. So that's just my personal philosophy of this, is that I'm not going to do back and forth for 5 minutes here. And no, I want to maintain frame of like, hey, I'm the expert here. Let's like jump straight in. Okay. So introduction, ask, can you hear me? How's your day going? Great. And then jump straight into the agenda. Awesome. Well, here on today's call, here's how today's call is going to flow, right? I saw your application that you submitted before the call. I reviewed it, I have some questions about it. And, ultimately at the end of this, I just want to let you know if I think I can help you. And if I can, I'll show you what that looks like to work with us. And if I can't, I'm going to make sure to point you in the right direction so you can get the help you need. Sound good? Cool, right? I stumbled up a little bit there. But with that agenda setting, I'm essentially saying, I reviewed your application. I came prepared. I've got some questions for you, right? And then 3 is going to be, if I think I can help, I'll let you know. And if I can't, I'll point you in the right direction for help. Simple. I'm not saying, by the end of the call, you need to give me an answer, yes or no. I hate that. I hate it. Okay, I just think it's cheesy. I don't do that. Some people may do it and be like, it works so good. Cool. I'm not doing that. Okay? All right, step 3, once I've set that agenda and they say, yeah, sounds good, I'm then gonna establish why they're on the call, okay? Now for this, I'm gonna note something personal I read in the application. All right, so in the application, I saw that your goal was to lose 10 to 20 pounds. Tell me more about like what got you to reach out and book a call. So again, I'm stating, I saw the main goal. Here's the main goal. But why are you here today? Don't say anything, right? And after that, you just want to get clear on why they're here. Because right off the bat, sometimes like they'll say, oh yeah, man, I'm really interested in working with you, right? Like, oh wow, cool. This is a lot hotter of a lead than like, oh, I'm just looking for a way to do this. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Like you can kind of tell right off the bat, how a conversation is going to go and the questions you may need to ask based off how they respond to why they're here and how serious they are. If they're like, dude, I want to work with you. I've been following you for six months to a year. Your stuff's great. I want to learn what it looks like to work with you. Cool. I know that's a lot easier of a call. I probably don't have to ask as many questions and I can kind of get straight into the meat of things pretty fast. Versus like, la da da da, I'm not really sure. You DM me and we're booking this call now. That's going to be a lot harder call. You might need a second call to close that person. Okay. All right. So introduction, agenda, establish the why. Step 4, this is where we're going to understand their current situation. This is where we're going to ask questions like, what are your goals? All right. We want to get objective with this. So if you are doing weight loss coaching or weight loss coaching, you just say, hey, what's your current weight? Where do you want to be? Right. If you're doing financial coaching or like business coaching, what's your top line? What's your bottom line revenue? And how long has it been that way? Right. How many leads do you have? How many sales calls? Again, if you're a fitness coach and someone's already tracking their macros and stuff, cool. What are your current macros? What are your calories? How long they've been there? Get granular. The more granular you get, the more data you get, which then will improve your pitch at the end. Okay. So get more data. All right. Get as much data as you need, but not more. Okay. And then once you've gotten clear of where they're at, we want to see what they've tried / what they're doing. If they're weight loss, what have you tried? Paleo, carnivore, blah, 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 all of that. Okay. Super helpful. Nice. And how are those results when you tried all those things? Blah, 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 blah. Right. And if they say, oh, I really loved this one thing, boom, I'm making a mental note because I'm going to put that in the pitch, or I'm going to make some sort of comparison to that, an analogy to it, because they liked it in the past. And, if they like it, I'm probably going to include some part of that in my coaching. Okay. Next up is going to be how long has this been going on for, right? So I'm getting really clear on what they're doing right now, like their current weight, all that stuff. What have they tried? What are they doing? And then how long have they been stuck? How long have they been struggling at this point? Okay. Let the person talk. They might talk for a while, but make sure that you're still leading this conversation and they're not just like going on and going on. Like it is your job still to maintain frame. And think of it like going to a doctor's office. If you just keep going off and on about a story, that doctor has other patients. He needs to pull you back in and ask you the right questions. Hey, I hear you. Can you provide some clarity on this for me? And just be the authority there, right? Because that's what they need. They're trying to work with you as a coach. Be that authority figure and help them bring the conversation back if it gets far out. Okay. So that's step 4. Step 5 is understanding their desired situation. Okay. And this is pretty much just the inverse of what we did up here, right? So if they said, here's my current situation, I'm currently 185, my body weight is here, my current macros are here, or that's the example for weight loss. If it was pain, you could say currently my knee hurts. It hurts at 0 out of 10. It hurts when I do X, Y, Z. I've tried icing, I've tried massage, I've tried chiropractic. How long has it been going on for? It's been going on for 12 weeks. Oh man, 90 days? Yeah, 90 days. Okay, gotcha. Once you have everything you need and nothing more, I want to be efficient and be an expert. We then want to get clear on what their goals are. Gotcha. So you mentioned your knee hurts. So in 6 months from now, what would be an ideal situation? Now get objective. And if you notice what I did there, when you ask this, ask it based off your program length. Okay. So if you have a 6-month program, hey, where do you want to be in 6 months from now? Hey, where do you want to be in 90 days from now? If it's a year long, how long, where do you want to be in a year from now? Right. But we really want to make sure that when we do ask these, that they are, it's based off that time duration. Because again, when we get to the end of the pitch, we want to make sure that what we're pitching is the solution, what they need. In this stage too, guys, step 4 and step 5, understanding their current situation and desired situation. This is also where you get to decide, is this an ideal client for me? And can I help them? Right? If I can't, get them off the call in a nice way. Don't get off the call. Don't hang up, but say, hey, based on your goals, I actually don't think I'm the person for you. I do have somebody else I'd like to connect you with. That will save you 45 minutes if you're doing a 60-minute call. And it's just going to help you versus trying to force a sale. If they're not a good fit, don't pitch them an offer, because then they're not going to get good results. They might ask for a refund, and then you're stressed out and you're frustrated. You have to give a refund. But guess what? That's your fault because you pitched somebody who shouldn't have gotten an offer pitched. Okay, only pitch to people you can help. All right, next step. Next step is step 6. Now that we have clear on their goals, where they're at, what they've tried, and everything, we then want to do what's called a gap recognition, and we want them to release control, and then we want to pre-handle all of the objections right now, not after we drop the price, but right now, okay? So right here, after they've told us their goals, this one says, what's preventing you from doing this on your own? You would say something like, all right, so what I heard is you want to lose 20 pounds over the next 6 months. Is that right? Yes. Okay. Well, out of curiosity, like what's preventing you from trying to do this on your own? And when you say that, they should be like, well, I have been trying on my own. Or, yeah, I don't even know where to start, right? But you want to relinquish control. You want them to say, I can't do this on my own. And then when they say that, typically what I'll do, because I do coaching too, is like, yeah, no, I hear you. Like when I'm trying to grow my business or, when I'm trying to hit my health goals, I actually will hire a coach too, because it's just hard to do it yourself, right? And even for me, like I have all the knowledge, but if I do it, I tend to actually struggle. So hiring a coach, I think is a great idea for you, right? So we're just like confirming, yeah, go get support. And I would do it too. Okay, you're kind of relating. And now real quick, like what are you looking into to solve this problem? And you could also put coaching in here. When are you looking to hire a coach? Right? You can do that, or you could just say solve this problem. When are you looking to get to solve this problem? Regardless of how you say it, this answer has to be now. It has to be now. And if it's not now, then you're not going to make the sale. Okay. This is one of the biggest objections you're going to get. Oh, I think I'm going to try in a couple months from now. I think I'll try next quarter. I think I'll start in January. Well, guess what? You could have overcame that objection by asking it here. Okay. And then once they tell you now, why now? So we're doing a double tie down on this, right? So it's like, I want to start now. Why do you want to start now and not wait until January? Why do you want to start now and not wait, a month from now? That may sound silly just to say a month from now, but that's the objection they're going to get. Hey, I'm traveling this month, blah, blah, blah. Be like, well, why do you do this now and not a month from now? Why do you do this now and not wait until New Year's? Like put the objection that you normally get in that sentence. If you handle all the objections, this is not going to happen. You're not going to get the objections at the end. You're going to get a real yes or no, right? And if they're giving you a smokescreen objection, it's because they don't trust you. All right. So next question you're going to probably ask is your wife or business partner on board with this? Okay. One of the biggest objections you're going to get, I got to run it by my spouse. And I'm not going to say that this is going to eliminate this, because this can be a tricky one, especially if you're doing B2C coaching and you're talking to females who may not be the financial providers. I mean, heck, we can reverse the roles too, right? It also could be a male who's not the financial provider and has to run it by his wife. We just need to know that, right? Because if I know that, I might know, okay, at the end of this, I need to do a deposit close to where I get $100 to $500 collected, and then the rest of it I can collect at a later point, okay? If a business partner needs to be on board with this, I'm going to schedule another call. It doesn't make sense for me to do the full pitch and then them to relay it to their business partner. I'm going to schedule another call right then and there. Be like, awesome. Well, I think I might be able to help. If that was the case and they told me like, all right, look, I'm pretty sure I can help, but I really do want to have your business partner on here too, because I want to be able to answer all of his questions and give him the same presentation that I want to give you. Can we reschedule a time tomorrow around like noon? And we can all meet together? And we want that, right? So like, get that. I would not pitch just to one person if there's like 3 or 4 people in the business. Now the spouse thing, this one's gonna have to kind of feel it out and get more experience and reps. I typically will still present the offer, but only if I'm 100% confident that this person's gonna like serious about this, wants to sign up and is fully bought in. If I'm not, then I probably won't. All right. So this is step 6. If you have more objections in here, put them in this section. Okay, put them in this. They just told you their goals. Get clear on all of the objections before moving on. This will save you hours of follow-up. This will save you a ton of, I got to think about it. Like, because if we can answer all the things they got to think about here before we talk about the program and before we pitch our offer and price, you're going to be in a much better place. Okay, so put all of their things you hear in here. One more thing, if you're a business coach or a marketing coach, like you would also put in here, do you have a budget for ads? Like, right? Do you have money to invest in blank, blank, blank? Whatever else they need to be successful with your coaching program, put it in here. And if they don't, stop the call, right? Step 7, this one's the fun one, right? So this is where we can kind of connect the dots of like, dude, how is this impacting your personal life, right? Here are your goals. You can't do it on your own. You want to do this now. Essentially, we just want to get clear on like, how is this impacting their personal life? Now, the way you word it's important for this. So it depends on the person. Like B2B, like I'm talking to business owners, we still make decisions based off of like how it makes us feel, right? And so it is important to still ask and get clear on how this impacts their personal life and how like improving their business and stuff will make their life better. But for B2C, it's even more important because they're also not like as aware of this question. Like I think a lot of business owners, they like don't want to share their emotions and like they know that people do this because emotion sells. But B2C people don't. So like B2C, I'm saying like health coaches and stuff like that. So you can ask this question pretty much straight up. Like, so let's say I kind of wrap this up. I would probably address like what their current goals are. All right, give me an example. All right, so what I'm hearing is that this low back pain's been going on for 6 months now, and it's prevented you from lifting and doing like CrossFit and being part of the community. Is that right? Yeah. He's like, yeah, man. Like, how else is this impacting your personal life? If you don't mind me asking, right? You kind of just like want to kind of lean into it. Like, how else is this impacting your personal life? Like, oh man, that stinks. And I could see like, and if you did get this solved, like how would things change, right? But like the tonality that you ask with it and kind of being softer and almost a little bit quieter can help somebody feel safer, right? Gotcha. But we want to get clear. Like this is where we're getting clear on why, right? So like you feel free to do the levels of why. Why is that important? Yeah, why is that important? Just like you don't have to do as many 5 whys or whatever, but like just get, the whole point here is get deep, right? Get deep because that's where you're going to connect with that individual and really make a relationship and be like, yeah, this is good. I could help you. Okay. Once we've attached this to motion and people are sharing and they feel safe to share with us, like this helps us build vulnerability and trust. We then transition to step 8. Step 8 is going to be selling the fit. Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that with me and being deep and vulnerable, right? And I just want you to know that like I'm very confident that I can help you. And I want to walk through the next step. So like how I help my clients and how I'd help you go from here to here. How does that sound, right? So this part is essentially like, being confident, you can help, and like giving them reassurance after they opened up. Okay, being confident, you can help. And then we're going to do is ask for permission to pitch how you can help. Okay, look, I can help. I really appreciate you sharing that with me. I can absolutely help you. All right. So what I'd like to do next, I'd like to show you how I get my clients these results, or how I could help you essentially go from here to here in this amount of time period. Is that cool if I share that with you? Or are you interested in learning about that? Essentially, we just want permission, right? Yes. Awesome. All right. So here's typically what it looks like. And then you want 3 things, okay? 3 pillars, 3 steps, whatever you're gonna call it. But here are the 3 things that we're gonna do, okay? If I'm doing this for health coaching, the first thing I almost always pitch is an assessment. All right, so step 1 is we're gonna do a 60-minute, 90-minute, however long, 60-minute assessment to get really clear on the root cause of blank, okay? And here's what you're gonna learn in that, right? And here's what we're gonna uncover, right? So if you're doing like gut health, we're gonna uncover why you have gas, bloating, diarrhea, why your stomach hurts, why, like people crave to know why. So that's typically step 1. Get to the root cause, figure out what's going on. Step 2 is we're going to implement a personalized plan that's going to help you go from here to here, right? This could be a personalized workout routine, a personalized supplement routine, personalized nutrition plan, and here's what it's going to look like, okay? That's 2. And then step 3 is typically going to be some sort of accountability or communication. All right, now step 3, once we've implemented that plan, we're going to meet every single week at this time to do this and do blah, 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 right? So here's how it works. Assessment, plan, here's how I'm going to communicate with you. to hold you accountable to that, make changes to the plan to make sure that we're on track. Very simple, right? Very, very simple. And then once you have shared that, oftentimes what I'll do is like in between the steps, I'll ask, does that make sense? Any questions about that step, etc. And once I get clear on all that stuff and I finished it, I'm going to get a temperature check. Okay. Now tell me, like, how does that plan sound to you? Do you think if we follow that plan, you get the results you're looking for? And there has to be like a 10 out of 10 yes. If there's even a glimpse of like, I think so. Okay. Well, talk to me more. You said you think so. It didn't sound like you were super confident. You kind of laughed. It didn't seem like you're like super confident. So I just want to make sure that like, I explained it the best I can. Where in that process do you feel like there might be something that's missing, right? Because if your pitch, if this 3 to 5 step process or 3-step process is off, you can lose the sale, right? So before we talk about our price, they've got to feel super confident in your ability to get the transformation, the result. So this temperature check allows us to spot check, do they think this is actually going to work? If they don't, we got to make this better. Okay. And the 3-step I gave you is pretty standard. It's pretty simple, but sometimes you might want to add more elements in there that differentiate you from other people. Like I know some people, when they do a 3-step process, they will legit just do one that's like, typically what people will do, the traditional medical system will do is this. Step 1 we do is this. So like when they're pitching their 3 steps, they'll compare the old way to the new way, which is their way. Step 2 is like doing that same kind of thought pattern. If it was a personalized plan, typically when you go to a PT clinic, they're going to give you blank, 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 blank. And you're going to be treated the same as everybody else. Here, what we do is this, right? So we kind of compare. Regardless, if you do that or not, you don't have to compare. This has to be a 10 out of 10. If it's not, you will not make the sale. Okay? So get this to be a 10 out of 10. And you can even ask, right? So like as part of this temperature check, you could ask like, all right, 0 out of 10, like how confident do you feel that process I just shared with you is going to get you to where you want to be? And be honest with me. And they might be like, I think it's like an 8 out of 10. Okay, 8, gotcha. Now, what would make it go from an 8 out of 10 to 10 out of 10? Well, I think if we had more communication and touch points, it would. Okay, that's helpful. I do have a way, an offering or something like that does give more touch points. So we can absolutely make that happen, right? So like whatever the objection is, just be like, cool. Can I make this happen? Yes or no? Oftentimes you just need to explain your offer better and then you can check on that. Cool. Awesome. Anything else that would make that, go from 8 out of 10 to 10 out of 10? And they list all the things. Cool. I can do that. I can't do that, blah, blah, blah. All right. And then once we kind of get that, awesome. So it sounds like you're pretty confident that this is going to help you go from here to here, right? Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, all that's left next is for me to share like what the time duration and the investment looks like. Can we cover that? Like, are you ready for that? Essentially I'm like, are you ready? Like, yeah. Cool. Okay, cool. So first, we're going to lock, and once we do that, step 11 is going to be locking in the timeline. I found this out, especially with health coaching, that if you try to share the investment and the timeline together, you don't know what the objection is. But if you say, awesome, well, look, it's going to take us 6 months of working together to get to this goal. Before I share like what the investment looks like, are you in a place where you can commit the next 6 months to this goal? Again, we're hitting on the objection of time is not the issue. Yes. If no, actually, no, I don't think I can do it right now. Okay, cool. Well, let's hold off and we can schedule a call later when it gets closer to that. But if they're like, yeah, 6 months, I'm ready. Let's go, right? Awesome. Well, the investment is just blank for the 6 months and then you're done. Okay. You're done talking. At this point, they've told you that now is the time. They've told you that your process works. Hopefully they've told you up here that, now is the time. They can't do it on their own. The business and wife is on board. Great. And now when you share this, they're going to probably still give you a objection. Like, oh, wow, that's a lot. Or like, I was thinking about, I might need to think about it. Okay, no problem. But what you're going to do right after they say that, regardless what they say, is going to be like, awesome. Now, real quick, just so I can double check, is this just a finance thing? Is it just a money thing? Or is it the program, right? Oh, no, it's just the money. Okay, gotcha. Because essentially we want them to say, yeah, money is the objection. Okay, gotcha. So what I'm hearing is that the program you think is a 10 out of 10 fit. And if we did everything that's going to work, we just have to make the finances work. Is that right? Yes. Gotcha. So typically when we do this, share this investment, we share the paid in full price, right? Or we share the total investment amount. Gotcha. So, well, let me know, are you open to like, workshopping this out? Because we can make this into a payment plan that could work for you. But, before we do that, I just want to make sure that you're totally on board and like you want to start and get started, and we just need to make a plan. Are you cool with that? Yes. Gotcha. And then once this happens, then you can just jump in and be like, awesome. You can start sharing your options. Like, okay, what if we did a 2-pay? So what if we broke that up into 2 payments? And they might be like, it's probably still too much. Okay, what if we did 3? And you can kind of like work your way down to like your monthly option. But I typically like for these initial offers to collect more upfront. So that's like one way. Let me kind of come back. One way is you can kind of go down your options of here's paid in full, here's 2-pay, here's 3-pay, here's monthly. Or sometimes you can put the ball in their shoes, right? So it's like, all right, you know the paid in full price, it's over 6 months. Now, let me know like what is something that you think you could do to make these payments, right? You can put the ball in their court. Now, if they lowball you, really lowball you, then you have to just be like, yeah, man, we can't do that. Right? The lowest we could do is this, right? And just see where they're at, right? And if they still are having a hard time with the finances and stuff like that, you can get creative with it. Like if you really want to work with this person, you can use options like Affirm, which gives you 0% APR financing for 6 months. Same thing with PayPal credit. If they want to extend it longer than that, like with Affirm, they could have like some financing options and stuff that are going to be extended beyond that. But ultimately, like we only are doing that with people that we think are really good fits and we know we can get results with, right? And if this person's not on board, they don't like your process, they don't like a timeline, they don't connect with you, now is not the right timing, you can't make the sale. But if it's just financing and it's just money, that's why we've created quote unquote credit cards. That's why we've created buy now, pay later options, because that is really common. And it's okay to help somebody go through that process. You just have to feel comfortable going through that process with them. And it can be uncomfortable talking about money, and that's just because of the society we're raised in. But if you can fix your mindset around that, and the only way you're gonna do that is, guess what? Is by doing it, right? By doing it to where you can help people make this decision of you can invest in yourself. And if there's a fear there, like, this video is not necessarily on overcoming the money objection. I'm kind of going into a lot here, but oftentimes people are scared of making the investment because they've never invested themselves. And you can ask somebody straight up, like if you're noticing that it's a fear thing, it's not even like, do they have the money? Because if they have the money and they're just scared, then you can relate to them. Hey, can I tell you a story? I want to tell you the story, the first time I ever invested in myself. It was a business coaching program. And I had a similar call just like this. And here are the feelings that I felt, right? I felt scared, nervous. I was nervous of what other people would think of me if I invested in this and didn't get the result. Because that's what they're thinking too, right? And let me tell you, I invested in that program and it changed my life, right? I went from making, $3 to $5 grand a month to 10, 20 grand. I wouldn't say that. I'd be like, I tripled my income. That's probably what I'd say. I tripled my income in the process, and I got locked into a community of awesome people that have pushed me to continue to be a better person and version of myself. I'm sharing that story because I see myself inside of you right now. And I know that if you make this investment and go forward right now, that you're going to get so much out of this that you're going to wish that you just like signed up sooner. Okay. I really would love to support you. Right. So, where are you at? And let them talk, right? If it's a trust objection, you can always come back with hey, how about we do this? Let's work together for 30 days, 60 days. And if you don't like it, you don't pay the rest of the balance, right? You can make deals, but you've got to listen and you've got to breathe and feel comfortable responding. But we got to talk about money if we want to make money as a business owner. Got to talk about it. Okay. If you're just like, okay, bye, you're not going to make the sale because they're scared, and you have to help them overcome their own fears of investing in themselves. Okay. All right. So that's what I got for today. I hope this helped. If you guys want this, I will go ahead and just link this Google Doc in the bottom of the YouTube description. So feel free to take this. I can't give you the full script. The full script, we do sales coaching inside of our Growth Accelerator program, to where we give you the script, we help you build it, and then we'll also review calls for you on a monthly basis. Like you can just upload calls, and we'll give you coaching and support on this, because we found that, hey, if we can get you 10, 20 extra leads, but you can't close them, we got some issues. So a part of our offering is to help our coaches, the health coaches we work with, get really good at sales. Okay. Our team's taken just our team, our business has taken well over 2,000 sales calls. And our coaches who are coaching our clients each have also taken hundreds of sales calls themselves. So we practice sales, we love sales, and we want to help you like it too. Okay. So if you're an online health coach and you're looking for more clients, you want to improve your marketing and sales game, I'll have a link below to book a call with my team. And on the call, we'll do the 12 steps with you, right? We will go through this entire thing. And at the end of this call, if you're like, this process is not for me, I don't want to do it, we can't make you do it, right? We're here to help you. And if you want help, that's what we do. All right. So that link will be below. If not, we'll see you guys till next time. Peace.